The last one you made was 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'll try and keep it short. Okay, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today is the 2nd, maybe, of August?
Yes.
Okay, 2nd of August, 2018. And what we're doing today, I'll just kind of give you a panoramic here. We got the watchful guardian dog there. I have 2 chicken tractors. That's all I have now. And that's plenty for what I'm doing. Easily to manage, easy to manage. And what the kids are doing is they are taking the baby chicks, they're not babies anymore, they got to be 4 weeks, and turkeys in there too, and taking them out of the brooder here. That's the brooder. And remember, our brooder has no floor in it, so I can move it ahead, and it's clean. The whole thing's clean. It's sanitized once I move it ahead. But we've shifted gears out here. Like, we used to have 20 chicken tractors going across here, or 15, and then we'd have another 15 out there in the field, and it was just go, go, go. You didn't really have time to stop and enjoy it. Now I have 2, and that's all I need. I figure that's all I need, and the rest of the chicken tractors are gone. Gave a bunch away and destroyed a bunch. And then these are the birds for tomorrow's slaughter. There are some layers in there that'll be going into the laying pen, but after tomorrow there'll be very few out here. And then further down there are Josh Cross's bees. Right? I'm taking back some of this field. I'm mowing it back. I'm using the stuff that I'm mowing in the garden, and it's freeing up some fresh ground. The rest of this ground out here, I've spread a whole pile of compost over it. And as you can see, maybe you can't, we got a lot of rain in the last 24 hours. I would say we've got 1.5 inches. Okay, so here's the point of interest that I wanted to point out. The point that I wanted to point out. This is where the brooder was, and they were definitely there longer than they needed to be. You know, they should have been out in the tractors, and we've been talking about doing it for a week, but we had stuff that we had to do, and this wasn't a priority. But with the rain that we got, it became a priority fast. You see that? Now that looks like we're going to have a great big bare spot right there. But here's the last position, right here. Here's the position before that. And then here's the position before that. This one's it's not only healed, it's greener than everything else. And this demonstrates a couple of things. The resilience of this ground demonstrates that, but how did we get to a place where this ground would be that resilient? Because it was really sandy here. I'd say the biggest factor is the livestock running on it, the chickens. And we stacked the deck on that by using biochar. And I also don't use GMO feed. Right? GMO feed is really destructive. The manure becomes very, very destructive to plant life. And I could go into that. But in a nutshell, now corn and soy and everything is sprayed down with Roundup so it'll die in the field. And then they harvest it, they grind it, and it's feed. So it's got Roundup on it, and they say that, well, Roundup's not detrimental to protein-based units, which a human being would be or a chicken would be, but the flora that's in our gut is affected by that Roundup. And it's designed to do that. I mean, it's designed to, it's a defoliant, it's a herbicide, so it's made to do that. So if I feed that type of feed to my chickens, it does have a residual effect. They say that it don't, but they're not talking about the residual effect on herbs or flora. So with not using that, I don't have as much of a detrimental effect by this thick manure here. Now I am going to scrape that off for sure. I'm not doing it because I want to save the field. I'm doing it because that's valuable to me. You see how dark that color is right there? That's because to fight coccidiosis in these birds, instead of using, you know, amprolium, which the hold time on it is 2 weeks before we can kill the chickens and eat them. If there's a hold time on it, I don't think I want to eat it anyway. But because that's an anti-protozoa product. So I don't think I want to eat that anyway. Or I don't want my kids eating that. So what I'll do is I'll come... Oh, so we fed biochar in the feed. A lot of biochar. That's why that's dark colored like that. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to scrape that off, and that's going into my compost pile. Because that's good stuff. Now the other thing that we have going on out here is a little psychology, right? Now when I tell my kids we're going to move chickens, sometimes I get looks. But when I say, go fire up the garden tractor, I get smiles. They like that because they're using the garden tractor. That's their new thing. It's an old tractor that we had for mowing. We don't use it anymore, but we've given it a facelift, so it's just a tractor. Have a little trailer behind it. So when you get your farmstead going, some people tell me, well, my kids just don't want to help. Well, you got to use a little psychology on them. So there'll be more of that to come, but I think they're on to me. So it's Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.